Hi, today I'm going to explain the difference between StateObject and observedObject in SwiftUI. Long story short, the difference is the life cycle of each object. And so let me create an example that demonstrates the difference. So first of all, I will create an observable object and that shows a number of counts by the user's click actions. Let's create a class which conforms the observable object, and we need that because to create an observed object, we need to a class that conforms observable object. And so let's call this class name as counter view model observable object, and I will add a property calling counter. So then I will create a counter view which use the counter view model instance as a view model. So let's create a counter view. Then we need to set the view model instance here, and in this case we use observe the object wrapper. And so let's say observe the object bar view model, and let's initialize counter view model instance here. Then let's set the body part, and in the body part we will create a text view which shows the counter value in view model. So that's it, and let me render counter view. So as you can see, we created counter and the initial value 0 is rendered. So let's add a button. Name is increase, and it will increase the counter. So let's replay this, and you can see that button increase is here, and if we click the button, and it will increase the number of count in the counter value in the view model. And so we created a counter view working with observed object. But what if there is another parent view which has another state? And so let's create random number view, and this view has a state, and the state is random number. And in the body we'll create another text view which shows the random number, and let's say button random. So if a user click the random button, it will set a random number to the random number state. So random number is a random number between 0 and 100, random element here. So that's it, and then let's re-render random number view. Okay, there is no initial value, so let's set initial value as 0, and then apply this. So we get this view. So if I click the random button, it will show the random number here. The view size is too small, and so let's set the frame with stack. Okay, let's click random number button, and then you can see a random number between 0 and 100 is set to the state, and then the state triggers to re-render random number views. And what if we can add counter view here? So the random number view contains counter view as a child view, and both view has different state. Random number view has a state, and counter view has observed object view model as a state. In this case, if random number view changed the state, what happened to the counter view? Let's see. Let me increase the counter. So now counter view shows number 7, and then if I click random number button, it reset the counter value. So basically, if you use observed object, it's the parent view state change reset the observed object. Through this demonstration, we know that a parent view's state change triggers to reinitialize the observed object. To resolve these issues, we can use StateObject here, and let's see. Increase the counter, and now the counter value is 6, and if I click random button, it doesn't reset the counter value to 0. So StateObject keeps its state, so both state coexist. So one thing that I learned through this demonstration is when we use parent view and child view, and you might have a bunch of view hierarchies in SwiftUI, and then you should be careful when you use observed object with another state in the parent's view, because the parent view state change triggers to reinitialize observed object. So in that case, we should think about using StateObject. That's all I have today. Thank you.